Taking a look at the Nasdaq, so pretty much as always, the index is rallying along the trend line. Here, kind of a weird movement, whatever that is. I'm not quite sure myself, because here we had kind of this bullish flag wedge, whatever that is. And here we could see something similar, although as I said, not quite sure where to put. Here we had higher lower lows. This is the smaller resistance trend line here. Here is kind of the bigger one, which means we are at this one right now. Also depending which one to take. Taking a look at the forward chart here. So if this is the kind of cleaner trend line where we have more candlesticks touching the line, then we would go for this one here. And last time we had the red candlestick, so we broke then below with a red candlestick again. Breakout red, turned around, pretty red candlestick and turned lower. Here a retest and then go lower. And here the opposite thing could happen, which means we had this pretty green candlestick with which we broke above the trend line here, and now this could indicate that we will go higher. So what I'm looking out for now is this retest, and then looking for buy and the continuation of the trend. Of course, we could here still see a rejection. So if you see a bigger red candlestick on the 4-hour chart, I would go for a short and trade, well, even to a new lower low, or depending on your entry and exit, some could be this support line as well. This would be the other trade to the down, but since we had this bullish candlestick here breaking the resistance line, we could look for buys here now, since we didn't have this kind of breakout previously. So checking down the 1-hour chart, here kind of turning lower a bit. Here still on this bearish trend. Well, doesn't mean that the trend ends just because we break here lower, because this trend line is pretty straight, so not to worry too much about it for now. Here the 30 minutes, still not much to see here. So 50-minute chart, if we see a pullback, which could be something like this, eventually maybe to the trend line here, and then maybe again form kind of a wedge or triangle, whatever it is that you'd like to trade, or we will see, and then a breakout like here with a bigger candlestick, then I would be a buyer and well target either new highs or one of the resistance lines here. Depends if you're scalping or trying to buy for longer, or maybe getting a bigger risk reward ratio. So entry and stop loss would look something like this. Then here buying at close of the green candlestick, and then stop loss slow below the candlestick, and whatever it is you trade, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, or if you have another exit like another bearish sign where you want to exit, so but this would be the trade then to take. So maybe something like this here. So this was the Nasdaq. Let's take a look at the US30, the Dow Jones as well. So taking a look at the daily, well, here kind of this trend line, and here kind of this one, and here's maybe a bigger one, so something like this. So we are at this trend line, so looks like we could see a consolidation pattern now and smaller movements around here. and then the next target, if we break out, is either this line or a pullback to the trend line once again. So checking the forward chart. Well, here kind of a maybe not yet a fully bearish sign, but just pull back a little bit. Just pull back a little bit. And if we maybe adjust this trend line a bit better, we can. Oh, it is pretty clean here, so we're still far away from it. So looks like we will here retest this green line, so go a little bit higher and then start to consolidate. And this is where I would look either for a breakout, a retest and then be a buyer, or a bearish sign, maybe again a breakout, a retest, and to be a shorter. 1 hour chart, well, pretty much trading along this trend line. So if we break here with a pretty bearish sign, I would look for shorts, something like this here. A big bearish candlestick, consolidation pattern, and then going lower. Here the 30 minutes chart, still on this trend line. So here we had this sideways movement again, consolidation pattern. Here this big green candlestick. Here again, a little bit of a sideways movement. This could also kind of be a triangle. Here a big breakout above it. And something similar could happen here again. Maybe some kind of wedge, then a breakout. And as I said, the next target would be here. Looks like we will head to here. If you're scalping, you could use an entry like here. Looking for a bullish sign and target around here. This high here, which would be the trend line. But then initially I would look for bigger trades, either for this breakout above the trend line here, retest, and then be a buyer to the upside, or as I said, looking for shorts. But initially we will here go higher. Taking a look at the DAX as well. We'll quickly get rid of all this mess here. So the daily chart. So we have been here on this pretty bullish uptrend. Something like this. And here suddenly find the support line that we retested a couple of times. Here is a resistance zone. So pretty much this is the consolidation pattern that we are in right now. Here is the resistance line that has been touched quite more often. Here is the next bigger one, which could be the target. So here, either looking here for shorts around here somewhere, going lower with a stop loss between here, above these highs here, or if we break and go to the next one, then looking for shorts here and going lower, since we could here see a left shoulder, this is the head, and then a right shoulder, so which would mean we will see a pullback. At the same time, sometimes one shoulder is bigger than the other one, which means we could here see a bigger move before going lower as well. But for now it looks like, if we quickly check the 4 hour chart, so here at the resistance zone, here if we see a bigger move, because now at the moment on the 4 hour chart there is no bearish sign. If you see a bearish sign like here, a big red candlestick, then I would short. Here we had a couple of green candlesticks breaking out and then having this retest. If this happens here again, we could go for buys. But at the moment, not much going on. So I guess we will have to wait and see what happens once the market starts. 50-minute chart here on this uptrend. So it looks like we will here head to this position on the 30-minute chart actually. If we can find a bullish entry on the 50-minute chart here, simple kind of a wedge or whatever, and then maybe a bullish breakout. I would look for buys and go to, I think this here was the next resistance line. It was even higher than that. So yeah, then I would be a buyer here. So this would be the trade for the DAX. Let's quickly check the S&P 500 as well. Is it this one? What happened now? No, not what I'm looking for. S&P 500. I think it's this one. So here, yeah. Well, again, pretty much an uptrend here. Nicely trading along this trend line. And not here at the resistance line, but we had pretty nice bullish candlesticks going on. 1, 2, and here could mean a breakout here. So checking the 4-hour chart. Here we broke above the resistance line with a green candlestick, which now means that the trend is kind of a little bit bullish. So simple trade, looking for a retest and then a buy would be something like this here. It depends on what time frames you're trading on. Otherwise, if you break again with a bearish sign here, bigger red candlestick, then I would go for shorts to here, somewhere around this support line here. Taking a look at it lower time frame. So 1 hour chart, 15, 30 minutes. 30-minute chart here, kind of well, here along the trend line. Even if you break out of this trend line, doesn't mean too much. So here a bit of a bearish candlestick, but the CCI is pretty low, which means we could here see a move to the upside. And really, again, if you see some kind of channel here being formed with a bigger candlestick breaking out, then simple trade I would be a buyer. So if we can pull back within a triangle or wedge, see a breakout retest, I would be a buyer. Simple as that. So this was the S&P 500.